Welcome to Material Issues Live. It's Sunday, the fun day, and it's great to be alive. So hit subscribe, enjoy the vibe, right here on Material Issues. Welcome to Material Issues Live. It's Sunday, the fun day, and it's great to be alive. So hit subscribe, enjoy the vibe, right here on Material Issues.
Good Sunday evening, early evening, late afternoon, late at night, wherever you're tuning in from. I'm Mark Hershberger of Pop Detective Records. Welcome, Material Issues, episode number 265. Man, I can't count that high. How did we get to 265?
I have no idea how we got past number 2.
Joining me, as always, my very good friend on the left coast. Some say it's the best coast. I'll argue with that. But from sunny Southern California, the president of the International Pop Overthrow Festival, Mr. David Bash. David, good late afternoon to you. How you doing, buddy? Big show coming up tomorrow night.
Yeah. First of all, that was the first time we've ever aired that jingle. Mark put it together. And I first heard it, I don't know, like 15 minutes ago. And when I heard it, I thought, you know what? Our guests could do a really nice version of that. So it's not all that far from what he does. So we may have to ask him to do a version. Of course, he may have some aversion to doing a version. So we'll have to see about that. But there is a big show tomorrow. I will be emceeing a Nilsson tribute show.
Yep.
Which will be held at Molly Malone's, which is a really cool venue in LA. I suppose it's sort of on the border of Hollywood and Beverly Hills. We've done many IPO shows there over the years, although we haven't for a little while. It's going to have at least 30 artists doing one Nilsson song each, and the organizer, Todd Lawrence, does such a good job of curating this, and we have a great time. And
Starman.
And I have a really good time hosting them. I just introduce the acts very quickly, but occasionally I'll insert some trivia about Nilsson or about a particular song of his. Maybe try to inject a little bit of humor, or an attempt at humor anyway. It's a lot of fun. I always get nervous beforehand, though. It's not my bailiwick. I mean, before I do IPO shows, I'm totally fine.
Hey, Tim.
Oh, what are you doing tomorrow night?
Oh, I don't know. What am I doing tomorrow night, Tim?
Tim just said have fun tomorrow night, Mark.
Oh, what are you alluding to, Tim? Unless it's something...
Maybe he thinks you're hosting the show.
No, David's hosting the show.
Yeah. I mean, I love emceeing IPO, and I know exactly what to say, and sometimes it's off the cuff, but I'm very comfortable with that. But, having to host somebody else's show and not necessarily be who I am entirely, it can be, it can be a bit nerve-wracking, but I'll make it through. And I'm sure at the end I'll get really good about what I did.
You'll be fine. You've got a little bit of experience hosting shows.
I do, yeah. And as far as IPO goes, so we've got LA coming up August 7th through 16th.
Yeah, you meant David.
No worries, Tim. IPO LA August 7th through 16th at Corbin Bowl and Redwood Bar. We've never used Corbin Bowl. I'm really looking forward to that venue, and Redwood's great. It has been for many years that we've done shows there. And then August 21st and 22nd, we've got IPO in San Diego at Black Cat Bar for it's our 4th year there now. and we really like that venue as well. And then Vancouver, September 3 through 5 at Lana Lou's, which is, again, a venue we've used for many years. And and then I'm now putting together New York, Toronto, and Boston. We actually had the usual order of New York, Boston, and Toronto. And then I found out that Sloan was doing a show in Toronto on the same day as one of the IPO shows. And it sold out like that. And they decided to do another show, which was on another day of our schedule. So it's like, no, I'm not competing with that. So we ended up being able to flip-flop Boston and Toronto, thankfully. I want to thank Sloan for announcing their shows that far out.
Yes, thanks, Sloan.
That I had time to change things. But, that's life. What else? Okay. Oh, on the in the world of food, okay. I saw these at my local supermarket.
No way. Italian meatball Pringles?
Yeah. And they are incredibly good.
Are you serious?
It's killing me. Every time I try to diet, I see something like this, and then I lose it. So
you can't just eat one of those, dude. You got to finish the whole can.
Oh no, and I might later tonight. I don't know. I'm hoping not. I want to be able to fit into my clothes for tomorrow's show.
With the stress of the Nilsson show tomorrow, you might be emptying that.
I know.
You've got no willpower.
I'm probably toast. But
I can't believe it. Meatball Pringles.
Yeah. Italian meatball, yeah, which I don't know the difference, but they're really good. Speaking of really good, though, I can certainly use that superlative to describe our guest. I've been a fan of his music for a long, long time. Since this album from 2015, Hell of a Day, which I have to say is still my favorite. He'll probably think, why? I've evolved so much. How can this be your favorite? Well, sometimes that's the way it works. You fall in love with an album and then nothing can beat it in your mind. But the ones since then have all been excellent. Here's one, The Devil's in the Detail. That's from 2017. Then we've got 1221. And I have to ask him about the title because it came out in 2020. Oh, no, actually it came out in 2022. But maybe it was supposed to come out in December 21. I don't know, but I'm going to find out. Haunted by the Holy Ghost was next from 2023. Oh, and I should point out that the last two are on Wicked Cool, the coolest label ever. And then, as is this brand new one right here, Haunted by American Dreams. So he's pretty haunted. First the Holy Ghost, then American Dreams. Will there be a trilogy of Haunt? We don't know yet, but maybe he doesn't know yet. But we're going to find out as we introduce this wonderful artist and girl dad. Would you please give a huge welcome to Ryan Hamilton?
Wow.
A haunted trilogy. I mean, I don't know. Sounds good, doesn't it? A trilogy.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you.
We'll see what happens.
It could be a trilogy. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be here. And thank you, David, for the kind words.
Oh, no worries. Thank you for the music. I wanted to ask you, I don't have any kids. Mark has two daughters who are, adults now.
Yeah.
What's it feel like being a dad to a young daughter?
Oh, what a great question. And I'm so happy you asked it first. So I became a dad later in life. My daughter's almost 3. I'm 45. So I didn't think I was going to have kids. It wasn't anything I was opposed to. It was just not something that was on my radar. And when it did happen, I think because it happened later in my life, after I had my rock and roll years, as far as, the debauched kind of sense of rock and roll, it totally transformed my life in a way where it could not have if I was in my 20s. And my entire world revolves around this little girl. And it changes you as a person, of course, but as a songwriter and how you view the world, and things like reproductive rights and all of this. I mean, not to get too heavy from the jump, but you think about it, and I don't think I would have thought about all of those things the way that I do if I would have had a son, which would have been fine. But because you are a girl dad, you think about protecting them in a very different way. So it has completely changed my life in all the best ways.
Yeah, indeed.
Mark, you have any advice? You have any advice for Ryan?
It doesn't get easier as far as the protecting them and wanting to watch over them, but you can't smother them is the big thing. My daughters are 31 and 27, and when they become adults and have their own avenues, and what those avenues are, because I was a young man in my early 20s. Those kind of things roll around in your head, and you've just got to be like, I've raised her the best I can, and she's going to hopefully make good decisions based on the way I've raised her. So then you got to let them be them,
I get it. I'm ready. I'm ready. Well, I'm not ready, but I think I am.
Well, you don't have to be ready yet. We'll just take it as it comes.
That's right.
We got Tyler checking in. Ryan saying he's a big fan, loved your stuff since Hell of a Day. Does it bother you that Ryan Allen is mining similar music with a name close to yours? Love your new album. That's Tyler.
Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate it. No, it doesn't bother me. There's a comedian named Ryan Hamilton who I've become friends with, and that's what really, I mean, we laugh about it now, but for years it's been frustrating for me and the comedian, because things like Bands in Town will say that I'm doing a comedy show at the Improv in Dallas, and people are very confused. But there are a lot of Ryans out there. I'm proud to be the one that I am that has carved out whatever section of music that I have, and I don't think any other Ryan will have the combination of, growing up in Texas with an almost completely British band and British producer, and the way that I sound is because it's Texas combined with England, and I'm proud to be. I feel like I'm giving away a secret. Nobody else do that. Nobody from Texas go to England and make records. Don't do that. But I feel like I've found who I am, and I have an identity that is unique to me. So if any other Ryans want to try, they have my blessing for sure.
You've lived in Texas all your life, right? Near Fort Worth, mostly?
Yeah, David. I grew up in a smaller town called Saginaw, Texas, just outside of Fort Worth, just down the street from the stockyards in Fort Worth. It's become a much larger town now than it was when I grew up there. But yeah, born and raised, proud to be from Texas. Texas gets a lot of flack or grief for certain things, but there are a lot of good things about being from Texas, and a lot of family values and things like that I'm very proud to for that to be a part of me.
Yeah, I remember there was a Family Guy episode, if you've ever watched that show, where Brian the dog goes to buy something at a grocery store, and the clerk gives him the food, and then he says, "Oh, and here's your gun."
Yeah. That's right. I mean, I did a live stream one time because I have a large fan base overseas, and somebody said something. This was in the early days too of social media. Somebody said something that they didn't believe, that you could buy a gun at the grocery store or whatever. So I went live from my house into my car, drove to Walmart. I was like, okay, here's the milk, here are the guns. And and they couldn't believe that it was a real thing. But yeah, it's a real thing.
Unbelievable. So Texas, born and raised. Did you come from a musical family? What were your early days exposure to music? I mean, when I think of Texas, of course, I'm thinking of Buddy Holly, and as a huge Buddy Holly fan as I am, and what were your early days?
Yeah, Great question. I do not come from a musical performing family. I come from a music loving family. And, my parents were going to see Skinnerd and, came up on Zeppelin and all of that great classic rock that we know and love now as classic rock. So I grew up in a household where it was the Beatles and Zeppelin and Skinnerd and things like the Marshall Tucker Band. So they loved it, and my dad loved it to the point where it became this game where even when I was really little, he would go, okay, who's this? What album is this on? What year did this come out? That sort of thing. And it became this contest with he and I. And now I took it to an absolutely obsessed level when I got older, like as a teenager, and especially in the 90s, I became just obsessed with 90s music. But growing up in Texas with a music loving family and having that game with my dad is really what kind of cemented this relationship with music and really loving it and wanting to learn about it. But that classic rock, what we know as classic rock now, and kind of the renaissance of music, that will forever hold a special place in my heart because of how I grew up.
Yeah, it's tough to think that a lot of that, classic rock, we're as far away from that now as living then was as far away from like the Charleston, So there's
talking about chronologically and aesthetically.
Yeah. Seriously, it's amazing to think that that's not even. I mean, the '60s is not even considered oldies anymore. It's ancient or whatever, but it still holds its value and merit to a lot of young people today, which is very, very impressive. I was telling David last episode, I was in a record store half a mile from my house that I never knew existed because they didn't have a really good sign. They put a big banner up, and I went in the other day, and tons of classic albums, a lot of psychedelic stuff from the 60s. But there must have been 5 or 6 kids in there. I call them kids. They had to be around age 18, right? They weren't that old, but they were going through and picking out albums like Cream's Disraeli Years and going, oh my God, you guys, you got to hear this album. This is like an awesome album. And then someone else would pick out something else, the ELO of this and that. And I just stood there kind of in the corner just saying, yeah, that's really good. That's good.
It would be like if when I was 18, I found a Rudy Valley album and oh my God.
Nuts. Oh, Tyler checks in. Why do you do a cover of Billy Joel's You May Be Right? Big fan of Glass Houses?
It's so funny with this Billy Joel cover because I'm not a big Billy Joel fan. I just heard that song and the lyrics to that song, and I was like, this is a dark song. Like, I know he performs it really tongue-in-cheek, but lyrically, I was like, this could be something so much more ominous and dark, and, you may be right, I may be crazy. Like something might be very wrong with me, more in that vein. So I took it in that direction, and I can't even tell you guys how many Billy Joel questions I've been asked since, and I feel like an idiot because I don't know the answers to any of them because I'm just not a huge Billy Joel fan and I don't want to I have a lot of people who pay attention to what I do on the East Coast, so I'm very careful about what I say because I respect Billy Joel. I just have never done the deep dive as far as Billy Joel is concerned.
What about AC/DC? You've covered AC/DC as well, so
you know what? Similar thing. I love AC/DC. I don't think I own any of their albums. It was just I love them. I can appreciate them, but I just had a moment with a song. I was like, okay, this could be something very different. If I hear something and I feel like nobody's ever done it a certain way, I like that challenge.
Yeah. That's an interesting point you brought up too. You may love something or love a band like AC/DC, but not own anything. I can name tons of bands that I absolutely love, but for whatever reason, I've never pulled the trigger and bought any of their stuff. Yeah,
Same.
you hear it. You hear it all the time.
That's something I cannot. That's something that I cannot say.
No, I'm not.
If I love a band, I own something of theirs at least.
I see where you're coming from. It's not always a deep dive into everything they do, but I'll take the heat off of you because I liked Billy Joel's Piano Man, and then I don't think I liked anything till much later in his career when he came out with Allentown because I grew up near Allentown. So
that is an amazing song.
You had to like that song, but I didn't like anything else. Kind of just wasn't. It just didn't do it for me. Why? Who knows? But I just took the heat off you, so all the East Coast people can get on my.
Thank you.
Are you, Brian? Are you on any tribute discs?
Oh, that's a great question. I've been on a few. I'm not going to remember right now. I did Bananarama song at one point. Cruel Summer, maybe. I think it was like a summer compilation, songs about summer, tributes to summer songs. I'd have to look. It's been a long time. It's been 10 years plus because they're just not as cool as they used to be. It used to be a thing, right? It seemed like that happened every year. There was going to be a Christmas thing or a summer thing or a band tribute thing. But yeah, I've been on a few.
Yeah, I mean, I know several people. In fact, last episode when I was playing new music, I played a track from a Pete Ham covers album that just came out.
Right on.
Pete Ham, one of the main men of Badfinger. And it was all his demo stuff. It wasn't even Badfinger songs. That I would love to see you on one of those, just so you could do a version of something completely different from how it came out as an original.
I'd love it. Anything like that where I can turn it on its head. I really love it.
So what? We can let Tyler do the interview because he knows more about it than we do.
I'll explain if you guys want me to.
Sure.
So that's a Southern saying. It's a saying in America, in a lot of places in America, having a come to Jesus moment where it's like, okay, we're having a serious talk right now. This is the moment where, you either shit or get off the pot, excuse me. But yeah, so I had this song. It was a demo. It was just called Come to Jesus. It was Here It Comes, Come to Jesus. It was about running from an evangelical person that was coming to your house all the time. It was just this like kind of fictional story that I created based on growing up in Texas and feeling that pressure all the time. As you mentioned, I'm on Wicked Cool Records, and Stevie Van Zandt has been a friend and a mentor for a long time now, and he likes to send me notes to all of my songs. If he hears something in particular that he thinks has a lot of potential, he gets more involved, and a lot of those will become co-writes. When he heard Come to Jesus, he is actually the one that said this should be called the Come to Jesus moment, not Come to Jesus. So when he made that suggestion, it totally changed the song from this kind of narrative of hiding from, overly pushy evangelical people into like having this moment with yourself. Like, what do I really believe? I'm hiding from this thing that I've grown up with. So I hope that answers the question.
It's pretty good.
Now, you said your parents were not performers. So they, so how did you decide to get into playing music?
Okay. This is something you're not going to believe. So I went to college to play golf, and I hurt my back. And when I was recovering from a back injury, I was almost 20 years old when this happened. I was like, I've always wanted to play guitar. I'm going to learn how to play guitar while my back heals. And that's how I got into music. And it was this combination. Wow. It was this combination of like growing up with this huge love for music and I went to a ton of shows as a teenager and, into my college years. I saw everybody in the 90s. And I don't know, as soon as I started to play guitar, when you're in middle school here, it's different now. But back in the day, you guys tell me if you had to do this. So you had to choose at one point, band or choir. You kind of, when they still had music in schools, in most schools. Yeah. So I really liked this girl named Story Coomer. I'll forever remember her name because her name was Story Coomer. So I saw Story choose choir. I was like, I'm going to choose choir because I'm going to go wherever Story is going. And when I joined choir, the choir teacher there, Mrs. Kirby, will always remember her name. She's the first person to ever tell me that I could sing, my pitch was good. And when things didn't work out with Story, I didn't stick with choir. But I had this idea in my mind that I could sing because of that experience. Anyway, fast forward years into college, hurt my back, got a guitar. I was like, well, I've been told I could sing. Let's see what happens. And that's how I got started.
So you were pretty much a late bloomer with respect to rock and roll.
So late. Yeah.
I don't know if this picture is actually from 2015. I'm thinking that guy's 35. Come on.
I mean, yeah, no, I was in my 30s. I had to be, I guess that's right. I'm 45 now. It was just the 10th anniversary. Yeah.
Wow.
Good genes.
So
very good.
So you didn't choose like trumpet or anything. You chose choir. But you had no music lessons or instruction growing up at all. So, the story's true. In fourth grade or whatever it was, you had to choose an instrument or you had to go to the choir direction. So I chose trumpet. And even though I couldn't stand playing it, it gave you at least a sense of what things are about. And then my parents, as they would do, they forced you to take piano lessons and, held that over. I'm glad they did, but it gave me an idea, at least, through all those years of how things kind of work. But to just hurt your back and then pick up the guitar in your college days and come from there, I mean, that is a late start.
Yeah, I was obsessed quick. Before I knew it, I had a song on the radio, on the college radio station. It all went really, really fast.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. One of the first shows we played, I was always a huge Nixon's fan, and Zach Malloy had gone solo, if you remember the band The Nixons. And Zach Malloy was coming through Abilene, where I went to college, and they asked the local radio station where we had one song that was getting played a lot. Said, hey, do you want to open the show with Zach Malloy? I was really excited. Zach Malloy's guitar player at the time was a guy named Tim Locke. Tim Locke was in a band called Grand Street Criers out of Dallas, who I was a big fan of. And I was like, oh my God, Tim's playing guitar in Zach Malloy's band. I was very excited. After that show in Abilene, Texas, with my little college band, Tim Locke gave me his phone number. So when I eventually left Abilene and came back to Fort Worth, where he lives, I got in touch with him, and it all went really fast. Like I quit the golf team, learned to play guitar, opened for Zach Malloy, moved back to Fort Worth, get plugged in with Tim Locke. And at the time, Flicker Stick was really big. I really got plugged in with the Flicker Stick people and all of that scene. And it just, it was like, I felt like the luckiest guy ever because of how fast everything happened.
So that was week one. What happened in week two? So you really took to guitar, I'm assuming, pretty quickly.
Mark, I'm a terrible guitar player. Terrible. Like, I'm just not. I thought
I was going to comment that most of the guitar work in your last album was really bad, but I wasn't going to say that. No.
Yeah, it's not me.
I'm teasing. That's a joke, everybody on the East Coast. Stick with the Billy Joel stuff, will you?
How many instruments do you play now?
So I play piano and guitar, and I can play bass, but it's all rhythm. It's very basic. I'm a decent guitar player, but I'm not. I was never going to be a talented lead guitar player. I found that out early, but I had some sort of idea or gift to write melody over song. I think because I got such a heavy dose from my parents in that game with my dad. Those types of melodies and those songs, something that's like really deep in my brain.
Do you write primarily with your guitar or with piano?
I would say 80% guitar, 20% piano.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I like to ask this question all the time of our guests, and we've gone all the way back to guys from the 60s. But what comes first, higher percentage of the time for you? Is it lyrics or is it a melody idea?
Oh, for me, it's always both at the same time. It's one line. It's one. Okay. It'll just be like, boom. I'll be driving or, whatever. And it'll always be one line and a melody, and then it's off to the races. So it's almost, you ever drive and kind of get in the zone when you're driving? It's almost like you're meditating. You kind of like,
yes, absolutely.
You almost don't remember that you drove through
it's actually a phenomenon in psychology called highway hypnosis.
Okay, yes, great. So highway hypnosis, that's where I write most of my songs, in that state. That whatever's going on there, it'll just kind of like appear. And thank God for the technology now, because I used to have to pull over and like try and write it down with a pen and a pad, But now you just grab your phone and make a voice note.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. One of the interesting questions I like to ask people, because with so many will say, well, no, the melody and the music comes first. I have a hard time with lyrics. So that they're of the type of that they have this developed kind of melody and song, and they've got to figure out now how to stick something in it. Then we'll hear people talk about, no, I get this whole idea through a whole lyric and a story, and then I try to put something melody wise to that. But I'm kind of more in your camp. I'm just tooling down the highway. If I get a phrase in my head or something going on, the melody comes with it, and if I want to try to remember that, it's pick up the phone and, one hand on the steering wheel, the other hand trying to hit the record button, and give it something. But to me, that's how it should naturally work. But for a lot of people, it's very different. It's very different.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
I don't write, sing, or play. I just listen.
I'm glad you do.
And that's been a lot of fun. So you were in a few bands prior to going solo?
Yeah, I don't know how much time you have here. Those are long, terrible stories. But I was successful, but it was like the music business was going through a big sea change. I was in.
Oh my God, yes.
So this is like the early 2000s, first record deal. I was in a band called Smile Smile. We were one of the biggest bands on MySpace. That'll date me a little bit. And then it was like us, Lily Allen. I forget. There was like kind of a list of buzzy MySpace bands, but the thing happened to us where we were getting flown all over and courted by several record labels, and we ended up signing with Kirtland Records in Dallas, Texas, because it was in Dallas and we had a good connection there with Tammy, who became our manager, who was also the vice president of the record label. This is before I understood the stress and difficulties of a 360 deal, and it was just when your management and your record label are the same people, your management can't fight for you against the record label. Anyway, and I didn't know any better. So, yeah, that band was successful, and what happened was I was in the band with my fiance. This is going to sound very dramatic, but it's all very kind of public knowledge around here. People know this story. So if somebody's shocked, like, I can't believe he's saying this, I'm not saying anything that most people around here don't know. She cheated on me in a very public way with another guy in another band, and it was like in the paper, and it became this whole thing.
Lord, man.
Yeah.
No,
the local paper turned it into a comic strip. They turned like the Smile Smile saga. It was just like this whole thing. So we had already, had the success as a band, and we were living together. She moved out, and I was trying to like show her how much she hurt me. So I wrote this really pointed song and emailed it to her. And she wrote a piano melody and sang a harmony and sent it back. And
Wow.
just to like get me, you know what I mean? Like, hey, good song. She wasn't doing it in a creative way. She was trying to show me that, you know, I didn't have an effect. Anyway, that happened several times, trying to get her. All these songs are about how terrible she was and how she cheated on me. And anyway, those songs got back to our management, and they said, if you guys can stay in the band and we can actually do something with these songs, we really think this could be something. And anyway, they talked me into it. And, you know, we put this album out called Truth on Tape. The music video is me like sawing her in half and murdering her on accident. And then there's like, then we're like naked in another music video.
Whoa.
You know, with the guys from the Toadies writing on us in marker. It was just like, it was the weirdest, craziest shit. And it is funny now, but at the time I was like off the rails, depressed, like suicidal. It was bad. And I was like, I can't do this. Like, I don't care how big the shows are and how well we're doing. I am not okay. You can't keep shoving me out here going, you know, you owe us a lot of money. And this was during a time when they were still spending, you know, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on a music video, and you were doing 3 music videos per album. And anyway, when I told them I couldn't do it anymore, the short version of that story is I was like, I can't do this anymore. I need to switch management companies. I'm like, something has to change. They sued me.
Oh,
Like, I told them I was, you know, not okay, and, you know, thinking about ending my life. Like, this can't go on. And they were like, yeah, we're going to sue you. You owe us a lot of money.
Wow.
So that
made things better.
that was my introduction to success in the music business, was that. And that, of course, is a very condensed version of a complicated, like, years-long saga. But
did those times of despair, did they sprout some songs for you?
Absolutely. After that, so at the time, my best friend was a guy named Jarrett Reddick, who sings in a band called Bowling for Soup. And we started this band called People on Vacation and did a few albums. And a lot of the Smile trauma found its way into the People on Vacation songs. And Jarrett and I are no longer friends. That's just another train wreck of a story. But not my fault, for the record.
For the record, yeah.
For the record. But a lot of those songs became People on Vacation songs. And then Jarrett had a way of doing his thing and lightening the mood. And that was a very healing thing for me, to be in that band with Jarrett after Smile, even though it went off the rails. And but that's what led to my solo career, was People on Vacation going wrong. If that had never gone wrong, I would never have started a solo career.
Well, so
that's life in general.
Something good came out of it, at least.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
That's life in general.
Yes.
You wonder, how all the pain and misery part of your life could possibly have been a good thing, but it all brings us to where we're at right now. And if you're happy with where you're at right now, it's because of all that garbage that went before you. It really is.
That's right.
And so is this your debut, or was there something even more indie than this before?
That's my debut. And David, if you look on the back of it as a joke, it says managed by Jarrett Reddick.
Is it in here somewhere?
It's somewhere in there. Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, as I mean, I'm sorry you had to go through all that stuff.
Oh, thank you.
But,
thank you.
But, thankfully, at least this came out of it. As I said, this is still my favorite album of yours. In fact,
thank you.
Yeah, it finished number 2 for me in 2015. And if you knew how many albums I hear That's a lofty position. And no, I don't
Thank
even
you.
remember what was number one. But now I'll never forget that yours was number two. And
Thank you.
if it's okay, I'd like to play a track from it.
Yes. Before you do, I'll tell you one quick fun thing that you'll appreciate. So we recorded that in LA, most of it, and we went into this. We were trying to find a studio to do drums. We couldn't find a studio. Friend of a friend said, "Hey, I got this studio. The guys that are in there right now have it booked for like a month, but they're away for like a day. You can come in and do drums." So we go into this studio in LA to do drums, and all of Weezer's gear is everywhere, and I was just like, hold on a second. So yeah, we had drum day with just like Rivers stuff everywhere. It was really cool for me. It felt like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. So yeah.
And in some ways, I've always felt that Weezer informed some of your style. Am I wrong about that?
No, absolutely. I love it. Fountains of Wayne and Weezer are both huge for me.
Yeah,
indeed.
Now, a bunch of years ago, and this is a band you'll know, the Raspberries, or well, technically Raspberries. They're one of their members of their second incarnation, Scott McCall, wrote a song called "In Love Without a Girl," and I always thought that was such a cool title. Yeah. And then I see karaoke with no crowd, and I thought, all right, that's right in line with that. And this is definitely my favorite song on the album, so I'd like to play it if that's okay.
Let's do it.
So yeah, from Ryan's debut, Hell of a Day, karaoke with no crowd here on Material Issues. I have to tell you, the chorus, especially the "Ooh la la la," it reminds me of my favorite album of all time is "Sunflower" by the Beach Boys, and they have a song there called "This Whole World," where in the chorus is Bob did it," and when I heard this chorus, I immediately thought of that.
That's amazing.
Is that just coincidence, or was that on your mind?
It's a little bit coincidence. What was on my mind was Paul Simon and Graceland. So when that was like, it's always like filtered through someone else's head. It always comes out a little bit different. But to me, that was trying to filter some Paul Simon kind of thing. But I think that's a really great reference. Like it could have been that reference too. I haven't heard that in a long time. It's aged pretty well, actually. A lot of
very much so.
Still sounds okay.
I'm actually wearing a shirt which is the cover of Surf's Up, their following album, which I love also.
No, as you said, that song, it has aged very well, and and the production sounds great. It's crisp. It's a great sing along.
Absolutely.
It's really well done.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it.
What was the initial response from your fans and the media?
The initial response was like, I wasn't ready for it to be this good. That's what everybody was like, so surprised at how good it was, and I was insulted and flattered at the same time because I'd come from Smile Smile and then People on Vacation and all this drama, and I was like, I just want to make a fun, like really well written record. I want to go make it in L.A. I want it to sound like California and Tom Petty and all of the things, and I went and did that, and then it came out, and everybody couldn't believe. They were like, "Oh, this is actually really good." I was like, well,
my God.
Good. I'm glad.
Tyler asked, he wanted to know about your influences. We've kind of covered that with a lot of the classic rock that you grew up playing the game with, but are you a fan of Third Eye Blind?
Okay, so that's like Desert Island Disc level fan, like their first album, the self-titled album. I still listen to it now. So they were, I mean, in my formative years, bands like Third Eye Blind, because I was a teenager and going to see them, and it was, they were on MTV. I fell in love with them. And the second half of that album, when albums were still albums, and songs like Motorcycle Drive-By and God of Wine and all of that, I am a huge Third Eye Blind fan.
There you go.
Great question.
Tyler really tapped into it.
Yeah. Well, as he said, he's a huge fan of your music, so I'm assuming he kind of gets it. So that's good. Thanks, Tyler. Yeah, indeed. So
I'm gonna skip a few things only for time reasons, or we'd be here for 5 hours, which would be fine with me, but maybe not everybody else, or you for that matter. So let's get to it. How did you get hooked up with Wicked Cool?
Oh, another great story. So I
did
the first solo record, Hell of a Day. It got a lot of attention because of my band People on Vacation with Jarrett Reddick. I went to the UK where I opened essentially Bowling for Soup's acoustic tour. I would open acoustic with some Smile Smile songs. Jarrett and I would do a song together that would eventually be a People on Vacation song. So when I made the solo record, because I still had the kind of stain of Smile Smile on me, I was like, I want to go to England. I've been over there. I had a great reaction just to playing a few songs on a tour. Let me take this solo record and go to England and just see what happens. And when I did that, the first tour, I did a little house party tour first because I was like, let me just old school it and go see if anybody cares. And there was a really great reception to that. So then I went back and did a real tour, and every show sold out. And I found some great friends through People on Vacation that became my band, a UK backing band, essentially. When it came time for the follow-up album, which became The Devil's in the Detail, I went to England with those guys, and we went up to Scotland and recorded this album. They would always joke because I said it was an old castle, and they were like, it's just a big house. Like, Ryan, this isn't a castle. It's like it feels like a
There
castle
are a lot
to
of
me.
castles in Scotland. Though.
Yeah,
I've been there. I know.
Yeah, can I tell people we made it in a castle? Because I really want to tell them. Anyway, so we make this album in England, and that album got the attention of Ginger Wildheart from the Wild Hearts, and he started kind of sharing. And there's this great guy who you guys may know from Little Steven's Underground Garage, Dennis Mortensen.
Of course.
And he heard Ginger and all these people were sharing about me, right? Tony Wright from Terror Vision, the very UK-centric people, like legends over there, saying, hey, this guy's really good. It's this guy from Texas with a British band. It's weird, but it works. Dennis saw some of that.
Yeah.
And shared it with Stevie. And Stevie listened to that record, and they added half the record to the radio station. They added, there's like whatever it is. If there are 12 songs, they added 6 to the rotation on the Underground Garage. And Stevie just was like, let me talk to this guy. It was fast. And it was so backwards because I went to England and did this thing, and all these British people were, shouting about me and my British band. And I had to go all the way to England to get the attention of Stevie in, New York. But that's how it happened.
Yeah. Wow.
And how quickly did he sign you?
Pretty quick. They wanted to do a single pretty quick. They said, do you have any other songs? I was like, I have so many. You're going to be annoyed at how many songs there are. And I think that's because, to your earlier point, I got a late start, and I did feel behind. I was like, I didn't even start till I was in my early 20s. And so I had a demo for a song called Bottoms Up, Here's to Goodbye. And I sent that to them, and they loved it. And they were like, well, we like to do a cover on the B-side. And I was like, I want to cover Paula Abdul's Straight Up. And they went, what? I was like, no, I really want to. I'm serious. I think I could do a really cool thing with that song. And I did what I thought was a really cool thing with that song. And both of those songs did so well. And after that single in particular did so well, it was like, okay, let's do an album.
What year was that, Ryan?
That's a good question. It would have been 2020 or 2021. We changed the band name. I thought it was going to be cool to be like Elvis Costello and have the Attractions, the Imposters, but in today's world, all it did was screw up. Every band had to have a Spotify profile. So that band, the album was called This Is the Sound. The band that it went out under was Ryan Hamilton and the Harlequin Ghosts, which I thought was poetic and cool, but it kind of took away from my solo stats, if you will, which I think is so stupid, but you have to care. And then that album won the Independent Music Award for Album of the Year, and it was just like, it really snowballed. Once Stevie got involved, it went from a lot of buzz in England to like real success. And that felt really good after the shit show of my earlier years in the music business.
Yeah.
Well, Stevie's, he's just an incredible guy, and his love for not only just garage rock and the earlier, the acts that come through, but his love for today's people making that kind of rock pop, power pop, whatever you want to call it, that sound, garage rock. He's really done amazing with a lot of artists. I mean, I'll be forever grateful for all the Pop Detective artists he's played over the years, and the Jelly Bricks are on his label now. They're label mates of you, good friends of ours. We just had them on the show a couple weeks ago.
Love those guys. They were my band. And when I went to play in New York, they were my backing band, if you will. I was honored to have them. Yeah, love those guys.
Yeah.
What do you think of the term power pop as it applies to your music? Do you see yourself that way?
Oh man, the genre thing is frustrating for me because I've always been too country for rock and too rock for country, and it's just because of where I'm from and the way that I talk and the way things that I
Yeah,
sing
because
about.
I don't hear country, and I mean there may be a couple of songs that are a little twangy, but I don't hear that at
Yeah.
all.
Well, so it kind of then it gets thrown into Americana and power pop. And to me, it's those two things coming together that for me that's what it feels like to me is, Americana, power pop, pop rock, whatever that is. I mean, you could put a lot of Tom Petty stuff in the same world.
Sure.
And power pop makes sense to me. Bands like Big Star and things like that are important bands to me, and I don't mind it. I think some people, I mean, you guys tell me, I think some people think power pop is something that it isn't. Do you know what I mean?
God.
Oh yeah.
Well, one of the most heated discussions you'll have on Facebook or other social media is what is power pop, and which bands are and which bands aren't. And there's some, of course, where there's a consensus. Like Badfinger, Raspberries, Shoes, Cheap Trick, and so on. And then there are others that people want to bring into the fray, like Jellyfish, which some people say, that's not power pop. They sound like Queen. But and the way I look at it now is, what's power pop? It's anything that power pop fans really like. And so if there's a consensus of power pop fans that like a certain band, then all right, fine. You want to call it power pop? That's okay with me. But
I think it's just pop rock with balls. That's how I feel about it. I feel like it's like pop rock with power. It's so silly that people dissect it the way that they do, but and for anyone who's offended by balls, I mean it it's like very complimentary. It's like good balls, for the record.
I'm just keeping
some of the female-led power pop bands might get offended.
Yes. So whatever.
We got Billy Joel now. We've got balls.
Whatever genitalia you prefer that is powerful, it's that.
Power balls. There's a new genre. Power balls. That's good stuff.
You on another note, you mentioned Spotify earlier, and
oh God, you're gonna get me in trouble.
There's obviously a movement by bands against Spotify, and then there are others who think it's been a great boon to their career. I know your stuff is on Spotify, but how do you feel about it?
This is how I feel about it. I feel like there have, in the story, the history of the music business, there are certain aspects where artists are forced to play the game. And Spotify is us being forced to play the game. And unfortunately, if you don't do it, you're not going to compete. Unless you're somebody like Neil Young or Taylor Swift or whoever, Garth Brooks, who is saying, I'm not going to have my music on there. It's like, okay, cool. Enjoy your millions of dollars while the rest of us have to put our music up there because that's where the majority of people go to listen. There was this thing, I'm a dramatic person. That's just because I wear my heart on my sleeve. That's just the way, and I'm honest. So it comes across as very dramatic sometimes. But a few years ago when I was like, I'm quitting music and I had my big FU moment with the music business, I realized that my music had been streamed millions of times that year, millions of times, and Spotify paid me $300 and something.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, I can't with this for whatever reason. I think because, again, I came up when I did. And you made money from your CD sales and whatever else. Like there was money there, like real money. So to kind of have had to suffer that evolution and look at those numbers and feel the sting financially, it's hard. But I'm always one, like, look, if I got to play the game, if I'm doing this and this is part of it, I'm going to do it and I'm going to get good at it. And I'm going to figure out what's working and where and why, and then I'm going to double down on those places where certain songs are doing well.
Yeah. Well, here's something that might make you feel better. And I'm not a musician, so I'm talking out of my ass here, of course. But I know a lot of people use Spotify to just stream music and avoid having to buy it, and that is a big problem. But I'm one of those people who, if I read a review of some album and I see something in that review that I like, I'm going to go to Spotify and I'm going to listen to the album there. And if I like it, I'm going to go buy it.
Yeah.
And I know there's Bandcamp, but sometimes there are a lot of bands who are on Spotify and not Bandcamp, believe it or not, because maybe they don't know about it or whatever. But Spotify, I like to think that I help artists with via Spotify, because I will listen to it, not to avoid buying, but to learn about stuff.
That's
and
great.
hopefully there are a lot more people out there doing that than musicians realize. I don't know if there are or aren't, but I hope
I think there are. I mean, you guys have seen the boom and CD sales and the news stories and things like that. People are now longing for something tangible. They understand that, they want to hold something in their hand. So I think when people are using Spotify that way, they're essentially, they don't have the record stores to go to and preview a record like we had back in the day.
That's right,
so you kind of, if you're using Spotify that way, it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're right. I had not realized about the increase in CD sales, but I saw an article recently. And,
16% over this time last year.
Someone who owns more than 10,000 CDs, I'm really glad to see that. And also, I'm always been all about the physical product. The compilations that we do for IPO, they're not on Spotify because or any other streaming service, because I do want people to go out there and buy them and have physical product. But if these streaming services can coexist with physical product and people are now buying it more, that's wonderful.
Totally agree. And you guys know I just put out a new record, and I'm going to brag on myself and the record label a little bit, because the original run that came out with the vinyl. Oh, aloha. Hi.
This is someone who's probably played your music. He's Michael
amazing.
McCartney from Maui. And he's a DJ and has been for many, many years.
That's cool. So, yeah, the UK, the stores sold out of the vinyl. They sold out of the CDs. They had to reorder and make more. And last week, the album debuted in the top 20 on the official UK charts. It was at number 12. So
wow, right.
It's an incredible thing. It's a big win for the record label. And it would not have happened without the re-interest in physical, music, with people buying the CDs and buying the vinyl to the point where everything sold out and they had to reorder more. And that to me is a great sign. Not only does that feel good for me, that's a great sign for music in general, to be like, oh, like people are really going to buy it now. Like they're going into the store. And HMVs across the UK have reopened and there are new stores. So I'm hopeful on the physical media front.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, since you're doing that well, you don't need our help. So this was fun, right? No, I'm just kidding.
I love this.
We're having a great time.
There
you go.
Yeah, you guys know. So I had a couple of other interviews today. This is my last one today. So I'll sit here and talk for hours. You guys are going to have to tell me when to shut up.
Tyler wants to know where the blonde hair is. I think he's getting really deep with.
That's true. You've had a lot of different looks over the years. That's for sure.
I have. It's true. I think that's part of it, though, right? You want to see. Plus, you also have people in your ear if you get to a certain point going, let's try this. Let's look like this. What about this? But now I'm old enough where I just don't care. I just want to look like I want to look. So. Yeah, blonde hair. I don't think I've had blonde hair ever. So that's a strange question. My hair's gray now. Maybe that's what you're talking about. It's white.
I think it is, because I also thought it was blonde. So maybe on some computer screens it looks that way.
No, it's white. It's turned gray.
It's good stuff. Tyler digs in with a good question. He says, "I think he meant don't quit," but he said loves your music. So,
Oh, thanks, Tyler.
And of
Thank
course,
you.
Michael from the Time Machine was chiming in on treating Spotify title app music like radio airplay and getting their music heard. Bandcamp is a must for sure. People discover things everywhere.
Cool. Yeah,
I know Michael's definitely playing the stuff out in Hawaii. Yeah,
amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, indeed.
God, God, now what was I going to ask? Oh, I've lost my train of. Oh, I know what it was. And this is public, I know, because you expressed a lot of your feelings on Facebook.
I'll talk about anything. We can talk literally anything.
No, I mean, you went through some trials and tribulations a few years ago, and you mentioned them on Facebook. You were really disillusioned with the business, and you were talking about, not, I don't know where my career is going. I'm gonna, I think I want to stop doing this, and I felt really, really sad when I read that stuff. Was that just a moment? Was that just a moment that you wish you could take back and? I wish I hadn't written that because look what's happened afterwards. Or are you glad that you did going through that in some ways give you strength to continue to go on?
Well, I'll give you a little insight into that moment. So there was 2 really big booking agents in the UK, and I had several opportunities to go on several big tours. I went on a lot of medium tours. I went on my own tours, but I had a few opportunities kind of slip through the cracks in the UK that would have been stadium tours, bigger tours, because they said, look, you need one big win. You need something that we can go, look, here's the evidence. This guy is really doing it. So Haunted by the Holy Ghost was supposed to be that album. Everything was set up for that, to have that big win, to give the big UK agents what they have been saying I needed for like 2 or 3 years. And, that album, as you probably know, went out into the world. There's a manufacturing error. It got manufactured with the wrong audio. The album got recalled, but some stores didn't get the memo in time. So some of the albums went into the stores. And then once that first barcode is scanned, that's your release week. That's your chart position. That's all of it. So a few albums went out, then they were recalled. So what was set up to be a hit record in the UK and my first big win and that top 10 thing that those agents had been saying I needed for years was destroyed by a manufacturing error. And it was unbelievably deflating because I had spent a year of my life going, with my management and with everybody going, we're going to do this. Let's give them the thing they've been asking for. Then let's go on one of those really big tours. And then I'm set. It was supposed to be the thing that was supposed to set me up for the rest of my life. And the bottom just fell out of it. And I mean, I was devastated because I felt like my chance was stolen. And do I regret it? I don't regret it. I look back on it and maybe wish I would have worded certain things differently or gone about the aftermath a little bit differently. But I was so hurt and so just kind of upset. I felt like the universe or God or whatever you believe in had really done me wrong. Like I'd worked so hard. And I had no intention of returning. That was it for me. I was like, nope, it's just not in the cards for me. So to come back again and do another record and see it do well, it has more meaning because of that. I don't regret it. I just wish I would have. There's certain things I said that, and I handled certain things in a certain way where I wish I would have done it just a little bit differently. But I was upset.
Yeah, no, and rightly so, because as I always say, I don't think there's anything behind everything that happens. I think life just happens.
Yeah,
shit happens, and it's just how you deal with how it happens that defines who you are and what you're made of, and sometimes good karma just comes back around to give you a little bit of a break. So
I'm glad there was some karma left. I thought I screwed it all up.
Well,
I screwed my karma.
Tyler's loving it, and he's saying start touring.
Thank you. I'll tell you this: you get a top 20 album in the UK, the tour offers start coming in pretty quick.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't even have a band right now, so I don't. It's all studio guys that have helped me make this record, and I would love to tour. We'll see what happens.
Have you? All right. Here's my selfish question of the day. Have you ever played the Cavern?
I've been to the Cavern numerous times. I've never played the Cavern. But
well, I know someone who could make that happen, and you're looking at him right now.
Oh, thank you.
We'll talk, because playing the Cavern is really an amazing experience. I mean, almost every band who's played IPO Liverpool, will say that when they get to play the Cavern. It's just, I mean, words can't describe it. That's all I can tell you.
I believe that. I would love to. There's been a scheduling thing once or twice where it hasn't worked or whatever, but I mean, it's been several years, so I would love to.
Well, hopefully one day. But meanwhile, back to the album.
Okay.
So why a second Haunted By?
It's like my reset, because the other one went wrong. It was like Haunted by the Holy Ghost. I was like, oh, I pissed God off with that title. What am I? And then it went, and then like the powers that be got involved and really screwed me. It's like, okay, hold on. What am I really haunted by? It's like, oh, this dream, like this idea of I'm something, I'm going to be somebody. People have been telling me I'm going to be famous for 20 something years. It's like, so that's whatever that means anyway, famous, you know what I mean? But Haunted by American Dreams. Not only am I proud of that song and like the idea of it, it just felt like the right title, because it's what keeps me coming back.
That's wonderful. And I want to play a couple of tracks from the album, and I virtually always start with the opening track of an album, because I figure the artist had a reason for making it the opening track. And that, of course, is Dreaming Screaming, which I know is a single as well. What made you decide to make that song number one, and what's the origin behind it?
Yeah, so a lot of the songs, on about half of them, are really old. The original idea for that and demo was recorded about 15 years ago. So I went back to all of my old hard drives when we were making this record with my producer Dave Draper, who I've been with for a long time now, and I was like, Dave, I really want to go back, then let's see what feels like this record together. Let's see what songs really. So Dreaming Screaming, considering everything I've been through in the music business and in my life, it just felt like that song is about your dreams trying to kill you, so it felt like the right way to start. Like, this thing has tried to kill me, but here I am. And it just felt like the right track.
I had a feeling it was autobiographical. I wasn't sure how, but I just had that feeling. So now we'll let everybody find out for themselves and maybe make that judgment. So without further ado, the opening track on Haunted by American Dreams by Ryan Hamilton, Dreaming Screaming, here on Material Issues.
Till he got caught with your best friend, and then the idiot left you alone. But you made it through the hard times, and when your baby girl headed to school, you found love, a new old man who left you feeling like a fool. You never knew that he could be so cruel. When you and your nightmares are turning to stone. Oh, they hold you underwater till there's no hope left to float. When you're dreaming, but you're screaming, and your nightmares are turning to stone. Oh, they hold you underwater till there's no hope left to float. Till there's no hope left to float. Till there's no hope left to float.
That was Dreaming Screaming, the first song on Ryan Hamilton's brand new album, Haunted by American Dreams. Couple of things.
Play it again.
Keep it. Let's listen to it all. Let's listen.
Yeah.
Let's just.
The whole album, right? What was I going to say?
Couple of things.
I was going to say a couple of things, and I'm 67, Ryan. You gotta excuse me here.
Yeah,
My mind tends to go, but one thing I did want to say is I noticed on this album, it seems to me that there are a lot more dirty sounds than there used to. Seems like you turned up the distortion on this one, and I love distorted guitar, so I'm happy about that. But am I right, or is that something that didn't even occur to you?
No, the guitar sound was very important to me and to my producer Dave on this one because this album feels like a fight in a way. It feels like, like, okay, let's get back out here and do this thing. I'm ready. So I wanted the guitars to feel a certain way. So we kind of found this template. The first song we did on this record was Godspeed, I think. And after we did Godspeed, we kind of stumbled upon something, and it kind of opened our eyes to what you're describing. It was like, you know what? We can kind of go for it on this one. Let's see what happens. And I'm thrilled with it. It's already, it's only been out for a week or two. It's already become the most successful solo record I've ever had. So whatever, wow. Sales wise and numbers wise. So, and I just found out yesterday it's #1 in Mexico on Apple Music, iTunes Mexico, #1 in the genre chart, and then number, I think, 40 on the overall album chart. But something, whatever, maybe it's the guitar sound. I don't know what's going on with it, but I'm really glad we did some things different with this one, and it's paying off, which feels really good because it could have gone very wrong. People could have been like, okay, this is too much. Can you chill?
I think the album. I think this is the album we've all been waiting for to turn the Billboard top 10 from all the
how do you even make a Billboard chart now? Is that a realistic? Is that a realistic scenario for an artist on a smaller label?
That's a great question. People don't think about things like this. So there are teams of people at big record labels with interns who have dedicated laptops or phones that stream certain songs over and over and over again. So they have the teams of people that are boosting the streaming numbers constantly, right? Rooms of people that are really doing this. So there is, I'm not going to remember it right now, but there's an equation, there's math as far as how many streams count towards a sale, right? And then that is calculated and used toward charts. They've changed that recently to, only paid Spotify subscribers, their streams count towards Billboard chart numbers, things like that. So the Billboard charts, as far as how they calculate streams and album sales, it's rigged. It's because you cannot compete.
Right.
Artists like me hope for things like being on the Indie Breakers chart, or what used to be called the Heat Seekers chart, or things like that, because you're never going to compete with those mainstream pop artists and those teams of people, jacking up those streaming numbers.
Right.
So yeah, it's a fairy tale as far as I'm concerned, getting on the real Billboard charts.
But thankfully, there are all these other charts. When I was growing up, there was, as far as rock went, there was the one pop chart, and that was it. And then finally there was an album. No, I guess there were singles and album charts, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then there were indie rock charts and stuff like that.
That's right.
But at least now you've got all of these possibilities, which is a good thing. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say, and this may not be news to you, but when you mentioned your producer's name was Dave Draper, there was a bodybuilder in the late 60s, early 70s named Dave Draper.
I did not know this.
You should. Dave himself may not know. He was the first bodybuilder that I'd ever heard of. I mean, this is pre-Arnold. He appeared in a lot of magazine ads, and I think he even appeared on a TV show as like the monk. Maybe not the Monkees, but some show like that.
I think he was on the Monkees.
Was it the Monkees? Yeah. Okay.
I think he was. Yeah.
Yeah. Let your producer know. I mean, he probably knoes, but if he doesn't,
I'm going to talk to him.
He doesn't want to get a kick out of that.
That's amazing.
Maybe it's does he look like this?
No.
That's Dave Draper.
Oh, that's him. All right.
That's Dave Draper. Hey, just so people know what we're playing, especially the new album, I've been going along the bottom with the flag, but RyanHamiltonMusic.com has been going across the screen at the bottom. That's a nice starting place to find everything about Ryan, and of course the album's available at all the usual places that you can buy stuff and buy the download thing. So please do. RyanHamiltonMusic.com is a great place to start. Going across the bottom of the screen right now. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, I'm so astounded by what you're telling me in terms of your success, and it's all well deserved. I'm so glad. It's nice to know that that somebody on a great label like Wicked Cool, but obviously a label that can't compete with Sony, is able to make charts and get this kind of success and then get tours out of it and being big in the UK. I mean, I love this. This is wonderful.
Thank you. It feels good. And you never know with this sort of thing, and you always every artist kind of hopes. And this album's still brand new, so we'll see what happens from here. But everyone's very, very excited, including Stevie, and they got a great team of people up there. And we'll see what happens. But thank you.
Yeah,
and thank you very much for appearing today. We really appreciate it, and wish you the best of luck. And I want to take us out with my favorite song on the album, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about this one. All right, you guess. What do you think my favorite song on the album is?
Okay, so if your favorite song from the debut was Karaoke with No Crowd, your favorite song on this one, I'm going to guess Over Again.
That's my favorite song.
That is a great one. But it's
okay.
it's actually the 9th track. I Don't Know Why I Love You.
Oh, really? Did you know that's a cover?
I did not.
So it's a UK band. I'm going to leave it a mystery. I'll let people go look. So the UK band had a hit with this song. It was like 1990, right when music was really changing. It's like very early 90s. So yeah, that's a cover. People in the UK have clued in that it's a cover, but no one in America has mentioned that it's a cover.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look right now because I have to know, and I fancy myself an expert on this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's honestly, David, we went deep. We were like, let's see if we can get away with this. We're not going to say it's a cover. We're not going to tell anyone. So the fact that you just pointed that song out is a big deal to me because, like, okay, that song's sticking out, which makes me feel like we kind of had mission accomplished.
Let's see if I can even find this.
Give him a second. It's going to bother the rest of the night.
All I'm getting right now is the Stones song, which obviously I know, which also the Jackson 5 and Stevie Wonder did very well, but that's not it. Who is it? I got to know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna look up the year really quick, so I'll make sure I get this year right. Okay, so I'll tell. Is the band is called House of Love or the House of
Well,
Love?
I know House of Love, but I don't know
Yeah.
that song. I know I mentioned the Stones, and obviously I know the Beatles and the Stones by them, but I'm not. I don't have any of their albums, so
Nice.
now I'm gonna have to.
House of Love. Let me see what year this was. 1989. Yeah, I knew it was right on the cusp. So,
Wow.
yeah, it was right. Like grunge was just sort of starting. Then this great song came out, and it was a hit in England, but Seattle was happening in the U.S. So, yeah,
very cool.
It's amazing that that's your favorite song. It makes me happy.
I'm glad, and hopefully it'll make other people happy to hear it. Yeah, we've got I Don't Know Why I Love You from Ryan Hamilton's new album, Haunted by American Dreams, on Wicked Cool and on Material Issues right now.
Seventh air, but I don't know why I love you. Television turns me on when the summer's hot and the spirit's low. How can I get close to you when you got no mercy? No, you got no mercy. No, you got no. I don't know why I love you. I don't know why I love you. I don't know why I love you. I don't know why I care. I don't know why I love you. Your face is a foreign food. I really don't know if I should. I just don't know why I love you. I don't know why I care. I duck and I weave and I fight. I work just to treat you right. God, I don't know why I love you. Television turns me on when the summer's hot and the spirit's low. How can I get close to you when you got no mercy? Though you got no mercy, no, you got no. I don't know why I love you. I don't know why I love you. I don't know why I love you. I don't know why I care. I don't know why I love you. It might be your soul and your heart. Maybe it's the way that you speak. I don't know why I love you. Television turns me on when the summer's hot and the spirit's low. How can I get close to you when you got no mercy? No, you got no mercy. No, you got no. I don't know why I love you. 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 I just don't know why I love you. I 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 don't know why I care.
Well, I have to say you did a great job with that song that I didn't know. And I'm gonna have to turn in my pop expert card for not knowing it.
No, not at all. That's
I mean,
such an obscure. Like,
No, I mean, look, all this stuff that's obscure I have in my collection, but I do not have that House of Love album. But I remember hearing Beatles and the Stones from that album back in the day, but not I Don't Know Why I Love You, but you did a great job with it.
Yeah,
Thank you very
fantastic.
I mean, it
much.
sounds like it could be one of yours. That's what I
Thank
mean.
you very much. And I think the theme of the album and having that moment with that song, and credit to Dave Draper, the producer, not the bodybuilder, for his suggestion with that. He was like, "Do you remember that band?" I was like, "I remember that band." He goes, "There was this song." Anyway, once I heard it, I was like, "Okay, like I get it. Let's do this."
Nah, great job. Great track.
Thank
Really,
you.
really well done.
Great
Really.
track and great album. And I urge everybody, don't just listen to it on Spotify. Go out and buy it.
Thank
You got to support the artist.
Yes, indeed.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and right across the bottom, RyanHamiltonMusic.com. It's a great place to start, and available all the usual places. So pick it up. As you've heard, great album. Get it while it's hot, because it's hot right now. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Ryan, thank you so much for appearing with us, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, David, Mark. It's really been a pleasure. I can tell we could sit here and talk for hours just
We
about
could.
all of the things. So thank you. And yeah, I appreciate the support and, the questions from everybody that was hanging out and asking questions. So I really have had the best time.
Excellent.
We're really
Outstanding.
glad. All right. Well, yeah. Take
Best of luck
care.
with everything,
and
Ryan.
again,
Yeah,
best
indeed.
of luck with everything, and we'll see you soon.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Have a super night. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
Ryan.
doing it.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye. That was
All right.
Ryan Hamilton with his brand new album, "Haunted by American Dreams."
Yeah.
And it's
good
a
album.
really good one, and I urge everybody to go out and get it.
Yeah. Yep. It's wicked cool. Little Steven's label with a lot of great artists, including the Jelly Bricks we just had on a couple weeks ago, and this is one of their label mates. And Ryan's everything he's done from his debut up to the present has been really, really good. So yeah, RyanHamiltonMusic.com. Check it out, pick it up. You're gonna love it. Every track, it's all killer, no filler. As
For
they
sure.
say. It really is. That's excellent. Great
All right,
interview.
so what do we got coming up?
I don't know what we got coming up. I got what's today? The 19th of July. Yeah, next week is the 26th.
And I ordered my copy, but I don't have it yet.
We got
You do, and
yeah,
let's take
actually-
a look at it.
actually by when I put it back in here from the other night. This is Willie Wisely's going to be on the show. Willie's been around for quite a long time, and he's been a good friend of both of ours. And his album "She" is celebrating its 30th anniversary. I can't believe that album is 30 years old, but in celebration, he's released a special vinyl copy, and it says at the bottom, Willie Wisely, "She's 30."
Oh wow!
Which
Okay.
is kind of cool, but it's a nice gatefold sleeve album. And the back of the album is just like the back of the CD with the photo there and the butterfly that was always prevalent. But the CD, there's a couple of different deluxe versions that you can get of this vinyl. He always sends a nice little postcard that says "Thanks and enjoy, Mark." And yeah, it's going to be a great interview. He's got a number of fantastic albums out. He's worked with a lot of cool artists. He keeps making the music. He keeps doing a lot of things with his Willie Wisely trio because he's quite the jazz artist as well. Super talented guy and a lot of fun. He's just a lot of fun to be around. So I think you're going to enjoy this interview.
Yeah, like I said, I've known him for a long time as well. He played IPO. I saw him. He did a house concert at his house, and had a great time. Great time seeing him there. So yeah, it's a very welcome reissue. I'm always happy when albums from the '90s, which didn't have vinyl releases, get them reissued. So this is another one. I ordered it. I'm hoping to get it before the show, but we'll see what happens. We'll see if the mail gods are kind to me. So Willie Wisely on the 26th.
Next
and then
Sunday.
on August 2nd.
Then on August 2nd, it's going to be a little bit early. It's going to be at 6 p.m., which we're
6
considering
p.m. Eastern, 3
6
p.m.
p.m.
Pacific.
Eastern. Yeah, we're considering changing the whole show to basically always be 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, which would be a little earlier for the overseas UK crowd, which might help.
That's true. That would be that would be a big help. Hopefully, we can get some UK.
So we're kind of. I think everything. We've got something else a little bit later in August booked, but everything else we're going to try to start doing it at 6 p.m. But we'll let you know. So,
well, I think we'll probably be able to do the later in August one at that time too,
okay.
unless our guest is flying from somewhere. Because
right now, of course, there might be reasons why we do it at 8 p.m. or a pre-record or something. It all depends on schedules of people that we try to get. But on August 2nd, which is 2 Sundays from now, we are going to have Scott Fairs of the Hollywood Stars. They were a wonderful glam rock band of the early 70s. They put out some great stuff, and they got a new album just out, which is classic glam rock Hollywood Stars. And according to Scott's people I've been talking to, he's quite a fun interview, and he said he loves to talk about all things music and everything he's been through out in LA with Kim Fowley and everybody involved. So could be very interesting as far as that time period.
Well, no doubt it will. And look, I was privileged to see their 50th anniversary show was it last year or 2 years ago? I think it was last year, maybe in the middle of the year, but they still got it, no doubt about it.
Indeed, indeed, yeah.
So looking forward.
It'll be a lot of fun.
I have a chance to talk to Scott there, but I'm looking forward to meeting him on the show and hearing those stories. Because if you're part of that LA scene in the early to mid 70s, you have stories. I can guarantee you that.
Hey Tyler, thank you. We appreciate it.
And Bash has been slipping lately. If you didn't see me play Jeopardy, the variation of Stomp the Bash on Sunday, but I screwed the pooch, as they say.
You ended up with $0.
I ended up with zero when I bet my money when I bet all of my money on Final Jeopardy and couldn't get it. The speed test really does me in, I'll tell you.
Hey Tyler, we thank you for all the questions too. I know you're a fan of Ryan, so I hope I'm glad.
Ryan, we'll get every Ryan that we know. Let's put out records.
So so Scott Fairs is on August 2nd. After that, we've got a couple weeks in a row here where there's IPO stuff going on. On the 9th, David, you're involved in IPO LA.
Yes.
We're not really sure. We don't have guests booked for those 3 weeks, but David, we might go live and do something.
I if we can, I'd like to do it. It's fun. I mean, people, especially if there are people who traveled in to play on that particular day. I'll have to look at the schedule and see what we've got, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Both on the 9th and the 16th, which are one is at Redwood Bowl and the other is at Redwood Bar, and the other is at Corbin Bowl. At least I caught myself there. We'll
we'll probably do some things like that live on those 2 dates. I think we're thinking of keeping the 23rd open to play some new music and stuff that you'll probably gather from those IPOs. Maybe we will get another Jeopardy going on.
I hope so. I need to avenge my own loss.
So if you're watching and you're thinking about, hey, I would like to be on Material Issues and play Jeopardy with David.
That means you, Michael McCartney.
It means you, Michael McCartney.
Mr. sitting in his comfortable airline chair and claiming to get the questions right.
So maybe we'll have Michael McCartney from from Hawaii on the show go up against David in Jeopardy, which was a lot of fun last time. So anybody else want to play, drop us a message on the Facebook group or on materialissues.com, where you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I always say popdetective@gmail.com. You can send me an email and say, hey, I'd like to do it. I'd like to do it. Then we'll get you in the show and tell you how to be a part of this little Brady Bunch Squares thing we have going on, and we'll play the game. So we're going to leave that date open, which takes us to the end of August 30th. What do we got going on, David?
August 30th, we'll have a gentleman that I've known for a long time. He was an executive at Universal Music for many, many years. He's also a huge pop fan. He would host house concerts. We were talking about those before. And I saw Jason Faulkner at his house. I saw John Auer from the Posies. Probably a couple of others that I'm not thinking of right now. But he's always been a champion of pop music. And, I think a few bands were probably signed to at least some Universal offshoots because of his efforts. Jay Gilbert. He's a big Minnesota Vikings fan, and I'm a Dolphins fan. They don't play each other too often, but I've watched some games at his place with him. So, he'll be a good interview. He'll have a lot of stories, and I think the one thing I really want to find out from him is, he had a bird's eye view of the industry imploding, and I wonder if he saw things coming that maybe other people didn't. And he tried to get the major labels to jump on board, and they wouldn't. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did see the writing on the wall before other people did. So we'll find out.
Yeah. Oh, great. Well, that fills up pretty much fills up between now and the end of August, which takes us then into September, where we're starting to have a lot of irons in the fire and things going on. So, stay tuned here on the Facebook group, or even better, go over to materialissues.com and subscribe on the YouTube channel, and stay up to date with what's happening and who we're going to have on, because you never know. We pop up with these great interviews, and we have such a great time.
We do.
265 episodes we've done already. And they're all archived at materialissues.com. Go into the live tab, you can see all 265 episodes. So if you
one day, what's the name of the museum that archives a whole bunch of music? Because one day they're going to want what we have.
Yeah, they're going to want that. What is that name of the museum? That's the.
It's not the Smithsonian, is it?
No, it's not the. It's the Library of Congress.
Oh, maybe. Is that actually a museum?
Well, I don't think it's a museum, but I think that's where they archive all, video, books, everything that
they're gonna want our content.
There you go. We may end up in the.
I just wanted to say our content and sound cool.
Our content. We're content creators, and we play Jeopardy.
That's right.
Hey, David, that was a great interview. Good get. That was wonderful.
Yeah, it was fun.
Everybody
a really good
needs
guy,
to run out to RyanHamiltonMusic.com and pick up his brand new Haunted by American Dreams. You're going to love it. Everything on there is great. And, we'll see everybody next Sunday night with Willie Wisely.
That's right.
Material Issues. David, loved Arena.
Loved it, Chesanati.
And everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy the week coming up. We'll see you next week.
Welcome to Material Issues Live. It's Sunday, the fun day, and it's great to be alive. So hit subscribe